Hey everyone, Del21 here. I am currently being blocked in by this man here that doesn't know if he wants to cross the street or not. My other videos have not been uploading, so I am going to switch over. I had one video upload, but that was using what I have right now, and that is the YouTube uploading, but I can't do an active upload like that, and I'm limited to aspect ratio, and I'm also limited to how long I can record. So we're going to switch over to our drift at, I'm heading back home now, and when I get home, I'm going to find the drift. I'm going to charge it. Well, make sure it's charged and charge it. I was really hoping that it would not go that way. Essentially, the update is with the truck, which I'm driving now, obviously, is that, oh, by the way, with the truck, at speed, 90, 100 miles an hour, it sits there like a rock. I got to figure out if it's a wheel bearing or a tire, because it has this distinct sound like a tire. I'm not concerned with it being a wheel bearing at 40,000 miles. Mopar are usually good. You know, they have really bad front end suspension components on their trucks. Their wheel bearings are usually rock solid from OEM up to usually about 80 to 100 and, let's see, my wheel bearings started going out in my third gen about 110,000 miles, and they were OEM. So I'm quite leaning toward it just being the tire. I mean, these are the factory tires that came on the truck, which are pieces of crap to begin with. And they've been on the vehicle since start, and the truck's got 47,000 miles, which is usually the time of life for starter tires, especially on this ST that has the cheaper tires on them. But the big update is that as of this morning, I was able to get in contact with the Mississippi Highway Patrol and get the salvage inspection. I'm sorry, get the salvage inspection scheduled. I am scheduled. I guess they changed it now, because I usually could only do it on Wednesday. But I am scheduled. The time frame hasn't changed, just the day. My scheduled salvage inspection is on Tuesday at 8 a.m. Tuesday at 8 a.m. There's no chill given for the time. I have to struggle to be able to call them, and I got to struggle to be able to be up there, so I don't do that. And I got to have all my paperwork. Now, this time, I will admit, all right, as in general with like the last officer that I dealt with, they seemed really impatient when you call. I mean, you no matter how friendly you're being with that officer, and I don't mean like friendly as in trying to get up a conversation or anything like that. I mean friendly as in you're not being aggressive, you're being like a normal person, you know, normal human being, and they're just literally like impatient, indirect. But I mean, with them being officers, I mean, I kind of brushed that off, because I mean, if you look at it as them trying to be, you know, hostile towards you, then you're just gonna live the rest of your life annoyed at every officer you see, because not every officer is like that, but a majority of them are like that. For one, their training is like for them to be that way, and two, you have to remember what they have to go through day in and day out that you never even have to even witness or be a part of. So for them to be that way is pretty understandable. But when I called, other than that, this time, I will admit, this officer here actually informed me before he hung up that I needed to have 2 copies of everything, which I already knew from the first time, and that I needed to pay with $75, but he also told me that it had to be a money order. And that's all he told me. 2 copies of all my paperwork, and so that would be, I guess it would be 3 copies altogether, I guess, I don't know. But it's 2 copies of the paperwork and the $75, and it has to be money order. I didn't get that the first time I did my salvage inspection for my motorcycle. I did not get that. My friend's power is out, so I'm going to probably video myself changing the cooling fan on my bike. And if I do, well, I don't know what you're going to call it. It's a bike I bought for $400 that was wrecked, that I'm in the process of rebuilding. This is not a Copart motorcycle. It's just a motorcycle I found for $400. That's the one I'm pretty sure anyone's seen in my vlogs, where it's a 2007 Yamaha FZ6. Has about, I want to say it has 17,000 miles on it now. I've been on and off working on it, but I've been riding it, but I've been on and off working on it. So essentially, it needs a cooling fan now, and I have a cooling fan. I just need to put it on. But if I video myself doing that, I will. But right now, we're going to go get Subway in our belly, and then go find, well, now we're going to go find our drift, then put Subway in our belly. I can't tell if it's going to rain or not. We have sunlight, but here in Mississippi, that means absolutely jacked crap. Because in the morning time, it'll be plum gray, wanting to rain, and about maybe 1 o'clock, maybe 8 in the morning, 2 hours later, it's starting to clear up. It's got blue with a few clouds, not rain clouds, just blue with a few clouds. And then around noon, it's nothing but blue sky. And then later that day, you might get those same clouds back that started, and then it may rain, it may not rain, or it may not rain until later that night. It's Mississippi weather, so we could get the entire season of weather in one day. If it's a really bad day, we could get the entire season. This guy here behind me is high. Yeah, that guy's high. He's walking around talking to himself, and he has in his pocket, in his hand, would technically be cig of weed. So I'm going to go inside before he asks me for money. Bye, guys.